105.1. Jim Jones, my guest today.
Yes.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Angie.
Oh, my guy. What are you wearing today? What is this sweatshirt?
This is, I believe this is Off-White.
Very nice.
Virgil Abloh, I believe his name is. I appreciate him. He sent me a few pieces free of charge in the mail, so I got to show him.
Really?
Yeah, it
I
was
never got no
dope.
free Off-White.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get this one for free, but I got a couple.
That
things.
one looks like fresh this season. Like,
No, this is actually vintage. This is like from his first season. I never wore it though.
Do
I just
you?
popped the tag today.
do you know that Century 21 has Off-White in there now? Not this, not the new joints, but the joints from like 2 years ago. You go up in there.
It's all good. It was brand new. It's a crispy.
It's a crispy.
It's a drip. It's a drip. Drip don't get old.
I was up in Century 21. I was like, they got Off-White in here?
Where you was at? Where you was at? What day you called me? What store you was in?
Century 21.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. He called me like, yo, they got Gucci hoodies in here. You
They got
want one?
Gucci hoodies in there?
Oh, he said Marshalls. That's what he said. He's like, yo, they got Gucci hoodies in here. You want one? Yeah. Pick it up. It's a real thing. Like, I got no shame in my game, man.
Yeah, and then it's also in TJ Maxx. They have a section. It's like the designer section. And it's usually be like right after they clear out the stores, and you can find it. I done bought I bought a Fendi something in there one
Listen,
time.
man, I'm not ashamed of getting a good deal. You dig? You go to the outlets, go to Valentino's, go to Yaga, go to every.
Do you do it Woodbury Commons?
I do Woodbury
Yes.
Commons down in Miami. We do Sawgrass is what it's called.
Sawgrass
we do
is
Sawgrass.
fire.
Like, I need a good deal, and I like to stay drippy. So the better the prices, the more we could get, right?
Drippy gets expensive too.
Very.
Drippy gets
Sometimes the
expensive.
discount don't work, and you got to go right in the real store, and then whoa, Charlie.
But you're doing all right for yourself.
Yes, I've been doing pretty good, man. God bless. We've been here for a minute, and everything's working out. Every
Still
year
working.
gets better.
Got great, solid, very soulful album in the streets right now.
Thank you very much. El Capo is in the streets right now. Shout out to Heat Makers. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Heatmakers
everybody.
really showed up though,
Nah,
huh?
He showed up all the way. Like, he surprised me. Like, he instilled the battery in my backpack. Like, oh man, like, people was asking me what the inspiration was. It was a mix of a lot,
But he didn't do the whole album, right?
He did.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes he puts his drop and sometimes he doesn't. So I don't know.
He did. So because we was doing so much music back to back. But
Yeah.
shout out to Arsonist, man. He's a dope producer, man. I mean, I look forward to hear him on some more.
It's
top
so
artists
good.
and things like that. So we're about to do another project called Jimmy and the Heat Makers. Me, him, and Mark Scabilia, who was
Nice.
the white boy who's been singing.
Yeah, I
on the
heard you were
album.
about to just drop another one right away.
Yeah, I can't
Keep
play
the
with
foot
him.
on the neck.
Yeah, got to keep the foot on the neck.
I heard you say that. I kind of like that.
Got to keep the foot on the neck.
I got a little TV show right now. I was thinking I need another TV show like next week so I can keep
Yeah,
my
like
foot on their neck.
Yeah, smother them. Why don't you? Like,
You
get sick of me. Yes.
You inspired me when you said that.
Yeah, the more
I
you got
felt that.
to listen, man. They got to see you. We in a day and age where content is king, and if you ain't in front of these people, then they gonna forget about you that fast.
Jimmy, could we just talk about all the crazy shit and then we could just get to regular talk too?
What crazy stuff?
Your name is in a lot of crazy shit right now, and I know you, so I know how probably irritating and disruptive it could be. And I know you have a lot of no comment on a lot of things, and I know legally you probably need to no comment on a little things. It's probably in your best interest.
Yes.
However, I still would like to know how that feels to you for your name to be slapped around in the middle of something and with words like informant next to it and words like...
Damn, man.
I'm just saying, this is the real shit. I mean...
For the most part, you never know that you're in a circus till you figure out you was looking at a clown. So, when the clown gives out information, everybody laughs. You did? But for the most part, everybody know I'm a substantial individual. I've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah.
People don't read the facts, they read the gram.
Yeah.
It's a big difference, you know what I mean? And people use the media to do what they do. They blow everything up out of proportion. But as far as my feelings, no, it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Of course, it took me somewhere else at the moment when I saw it. But then
You calmed down?
calmed down, sat back, laughed at it, looked at the person
Can
who
you
was...
laugh at it?
Laughed at it, looked at the person who was dishing it, thought about it, thought about trying to be just as facetious as the person was, but then it doesn't make no sense. I'll be doing the same thing he's doing, and that's lightweight doing what we don't like to do. So, I just leave it alone. But I do say one thing, where I'm from, real niggas don't do bullshit to tarnish people's name.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? At all. That's not honorable. So, we don't really got to talk about that too much. If you know me, you know me. You know what I mean?
It was just a string, Jimmy, of like a couple of things that happened that just felt like
it was a crazy week.
It was an audio tape. No comment, right?
No
comment. Let me ask you this then.
Mm-hmm.
No comment on all of that. Okay, fine. But with all the talk of everything going on and your name being thrown in stuff, a lot of stuff, and I've been thinking about this a lot too, and just in general in the game and the culture and gang culture, and people making mistakes and playing with gang culture when they wasn't really in gang culture. I just wonder, I don't know what your take is on that and how as a hip hop culture, where we are with that and where people making mistakes or what are we getting wrong, or is there some knowledge that people should know before playing with things and shouting things out that might not be true to where they're from? Like, what can you offer to that conversation?
That's real tricky, but for the most part, we are. I grew up hard. I grew up with nothing. Mm-hmm. And when we're young and we don't have nothing, we search for that brotherhood. And that brotherhood usually the people that we grew up around and people that do the same things that you do and you become thick as thieves. Is what you do in that brotherhood that kind of twists things up as you go on. But for the most part, we all did the same thing because the love was reciprocated, and this is all we know how to do given the circumstances that we grew up in and things like that. Mm-hmm. I fought myself a lot for different things I've did coming up because I know I've used certain things for my advantage, mm-hmm. financial advantage, mm-hmm. at a point where it was lucrative.
What do you mean, like repping things or saying things?
Like repping things, like,
uh-huh.
putting things out there, like letting people know what I'm affiliated with, things like that, mm-hmm. And at that time it was lucrative. It was working in my favor. And when you're young,
you weren't the only one, by the way.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
It's a whole industry, West Coast, East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, from New York, it was a whole kind of new thing, so I kind of use it to my advantage at a young age and not thinking about what would happen later on in the future as time goes on and how big it will become and everything that comes with it. And it's not an easy game, you know what I mean? When you coming up where we come up from, it's I really don't want to touch too much on it. It's a hard it's a hard topic for me to really talk about right now, you know what I mean?
I know.
But
it's a hard topic, but I get it. It's a hard topic, but there's a piece of it, and I want to take you individually
mm-hmm.
out of it, but there's a piece of it there that is, we've glamorized it in the culture, in hip hop culture, right?
And that's one of the things that as I got older, I'm not the most proud of, is what I'm trying to say. Like, mm-hmm. I glamorized it. I used it for my advantage. I used it for Dipset's advantage. I made a lot of money off it. I made millions of dollars off it. I put it out there for the kids to eat it up. I put it out there for the kids to make it, for the kids to think it's cool and things
mm-hmm.
like that. And I don't think I painted enough a positive enough picture for the kids to look at. Like, it's to
understand the full.
Yes.
It's not just one piece, right?
Because I'm a positive person. I've
mm-hmm.
done a lot of great things, me as an individual,
mm-hmm.
and me as an individual is an extension of everything that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of other people like myself, no matter what color they rep, that do positive things. God bless and RP Nipsey. He was one of the true leaders of this gang culture and trying to turn it around and do very positive
mm-hmm.
things for the community,
Snoop.
for himself, for his family. Snoop, a lot of things. But as of recent, Nip was the leader. Like,
mm-hmm.
he made a lot of us think about different things that we could do to contribute to our community and help even more than we was doing. Even though I've always been a leader in my community, I always chose to give back,
mm-hmm.
and I always chose to let the kids see me, because I know when they see me, they was looking in the right direction, because I've done something great with my life. Not saying that I've been perfect, not saying that I've been an angel, but I've made it to become a professional in my career, which it's not easy where we come from.
Mm-hmm.
And, as you get older, I'm still here, so I'm able to kind of tell a youth different things that combat some of the ignorant shit that I was doing
mm-hmm.
when I was younger.
No,
that makes sense.
No, it totally makes sense. The conversation comes up a lot because of what's happened with 6ix9ine and people saying he wasn't really that life. And then when you rep that life, and then there's consequences to that.
Consequences to everything you do.
That too.
You know what I mean?
That as well.
There's no way around it. You know what I mean? So it's evident. People.
It's a great album title or a song title.
What's that?
Consequences.
It is. It's definitely consequences.
Because that is really the theme of
consequences and karma.
And karma. That's a fucking that's an album title.
That might be the one I'm working on now. Consequences and Karma.
Take it, Jimmy. Just take
That's it.
Just take
Me and
it.
Angie just did it. I was talking about what I was doing yesterday. I'm about to put my foot on their neck. The new project is called, say it, Ange.
Consequences and Karma.
Consequences and Karma, titled by Ange. I like it. And
Are you spelling it with a K, both? Consequences and Karma.
Of course. Pardon. You know, I love all my brothers the same.
And Contradiction with a K as well.
You know, I'm a big contradiction. You know what I mean?
It's a lot of contradictions. A lot of contradictions there.
Oh, man. But you know, I mean.
Will you do a book?
You know what? So, how you doing, Ange? I text Jazz like 2 weeks ago. I've been texting Jazz like 2 weeks ago every day straight. Like, yo, Jazz, I want to do a book. Go inside of Rock Nation, figure out whose office you got going to.
Oh, they have a book
jump on their desk
deal.
and say, Jim Jones wants to do a book.
Yeah.
It probably would be a very, very good book. I've been in this industry since 1996. I've seen everybody come and go.
Yeah, but if you're going to do it, you got to really do it.
No, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I'm going to go balls to the wall. Pause.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. I mean, and I'm not here to put nobody out there. I'm not here to exploit nobody, but there's history in this game that people need to know. Mm-hmm. People need to know about certain phone calls I got at night. People need to know people that got caught slipping in hip-hop history in New York. Like, it's just a lot of things that I've seen. And
I would buy that book and read that book.
People would love to know all the crazy things me and Cam
He said ask him. I did ask him to do Untold Stories. He couldn't do it for other reasons, but whatever.
Untold Stories?
My show.
But what would the story be about?
No, any of your Untold Stories, but you couldn't do it for other reasons. Anyway,
that's what they said?
That's what you told me.
Maybe at that time. I'll be burnt out.
You know I have a show.
Yes, I seen the show. I
Untold
seen Fat
Stories
Joe
of Hip Hop.
talking about
We TV.
Oh no, it's all good.
It's all good now?
I'm in a great space.
Oh, you weren't in a good space, I think. That's why you couldn't do it last.
No.
Yo, I need you next season.
I'm a spoiled brat. I wasn't in a good space. But you know, shouts to We TV. You know,
you're in a better space now.
Dope ass network. You
were one of my first people on my list that I really wanted for the show, and then he said somebody had told me, "Yeah, Jimmy loves you. He would do anything." But I
would love to do that. I mean, I get a kick out telling these stories. I mean,
yeah.
These are precious stories that the kids need to hear. Like, I'm happy to be here to be able to witness this type of history. Like, I've been around the greatest people in this game. You can name them. When Joe was talking about Big Pun, I was just laughing because I can remember clearly Big Pun and Tony Sunshine pulling up to my house in a conversion van. Big Pun has a real love seat, like from Bob's Furniture. He has a real love seat inside of the conversion van. They pull up, be like, Jim, we going to the wedge. I'm like, what? Takes me to the wedge. He's the first person I seen really make it rain. Like, he used to take big balls of money and throw it so hard at the strippers. Like, I was like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, take a handful. Just do it. Yo. But you know, so
no, he was a lunatic.
No, man, Big Pun. And at that time, they was on steroids. They was rappers on steroids. They was just a different bunch, and they was ahead of their time. Like, they bring everything that they learned from the street and applied it to the industry. The way they moved, the way they carried themselves, like, it just a page that we kind of took out. Like, I know me and Cam had this thing called premeditated murder where we've been studying the game for so long, but even as we got into the game, we still took pieces of people's whole business structure and added to
what
ours.
Worked from them
and Terror Squad still is, but they moved around as one of the illest groups in this industry.
Wow.
Puerto Rican dudes was vicious, bro. They leave them alone. You know what I mean? Like, they came to a party, nobody messed with the Spanish dudes at all. I can't recall it. You know what I mean? So I was, it's dope, man. I congratulate you on that show.
Thank
the
you,
show
baby.
was a very, very dope show. So
Thank
I got a couple stories to tell.
I can't wait. I need you season 2 for sure.
And
we'll do it right around the time of the launch of your new book that we've just decided you're going to write, called Consequences, Karma, and Contradictions.
Yes. Yes. I got a story like
of Jim Jones.
BMF Stories, my first encounter with Big Meech.
Wow.
That was fun.
You want to tell that today?
Well, it was a long time ago. I forget what happened. We end up physical altercation, something.
You and Meech?
No, not me and Meech. Me and a group of individuals in the club over Cam's pretty pink linen he had on. Somehow champagne got on him, and I didn't understand why was champagne pouring on my man in his pretty pink. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then whatever ensued happened, spilled out the club. Then the next day we performed right after Fat Joe and them side of Club Mansion. Remember they used to always rent the Club Mansion on Memorial Day weekends, and then so we performed there. It was about 100 BMF people in the front row. And I remember stepping on people's hands because they kept trying to grab me off the stage.
Shut up.
Shout outs to Blue, man. RP Baby Blue. Shout outs to Meech. But and so then that led to us leaving out to 80 people walking behind us, led to me running to the beach to get away. Then we end up kind of settling it. And then I got booked in Atlanta for a club. Silly old me. I'm just thinking about the money.
Right.
I'm going to get that back end. I get to the club.
You're not thinking about them hands on your feet.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, man. I get to the club. I get my back end. I got two armed security. I'm, you know me. I'm like, I'm living La Vida Loca. What's up? Let's get it. It seemed like the music stopped all of a sudden. Like, BMF in the building. I was like, oh. I've never seen that many people in one entourage in my life. I thought I used to roll deep, and you know I could sometimes move with like 60 people back then. And he had to have like 200 people with him walk by me, all ice grilling me as they walk by. I'm like, okay, very interested.
Message received.
Yes, okay. Then he sends a big bodyguard over there. Says, Misha want to speak to you. I said, okay. So now we go over to the section, and another big bodyguard said, yo, Jim, you got to tell your security to go home. They can't do nothing for you in here. I said, okay.
Did you send him home?
I paid them. I said, y'all relieved, I guess.
You can't help me. You can't help me.
Then he woke me up to beach like, yo, this big beach. He had the biggest stack of $100 bills in his hand, and he was kind of saying, yo, shorty, I fuck with you, shorty. You remind me of me when I was younger. I was like, there is a God, man. But, oh, man, I'll never forget. Busta Rhymes was there that day. Like, it was just, you know, there's so many of those type of stories,
that's
man.
Crazy.
Yes.
It's funny you actually sent security home. You gave me, what are you going to do?
I just seen 200 individuals walk by. Like, it was me and two security. Like, what could possibly be? It was. I didn't plan of making out of that situation, but God is good. God is good.
That's a great story.
God is good, man.
That's a great story.
You run across a lot of good people in my time, man. And it's so crazy that I've been in this game so long, and how I learned how to move. Like, I damn near could move anywhere in this world for that matter because of hip hop, and can go by myself and land and get the same love and have people there that take after me the same way that I would be in New York and stuff like that. So, you know.
Now you're out here selling weed legally?
Yes, we are selling weed. weed, and more weed. Shout out to Saucy, my man Alex Todd in the building.
Didn't you sell weed like back in the day when you wasn't allowed to sell weed?
I was definitely in a project selling weed. I used to actually pour Hennessy and Tanqueray on my weed. So you could come get the Hennessy bud, or you could come get the Tanqueray bud. It'd be a little moist. I try to dry it out, but when you put it back in the bag, it'd be a little bit moist. But it was a cool gimmick I had for a little while. It was like high school.
You were always a marketer. You were always a good marketer.
Yeah, no, I was trying to get the cash back in the day, and I was very keen about the drug that I chose to sell because you could get locked up and do a lot of time. So I was trying to dip in and out between weed and other stuff and stuff like that.
People were getting real time at one point for weed.
It depends on, you know.
Depends how you moved.
Depends how you move, but you know. But now we
But did you even imagine back then when you put in Tanqueray, was it Tanqueray you said?
Tanqueray,
when you
Hennessy.
put in Tanqueray and Hennessy in your weed, did you ever imagine the day that you would have a legal weed business?
No, I've been locked up for weed so many times in New York City.
Oh, you have been?
Numerous times. Maybe it was like 4 times a year since I was like age 15.
Not 4 times a year.
What? And we was smoking. But so to fast forward and to be here now and to be able to say that I'm a partner inside of a weed business or a dope weed business that's really selling weed, like we're doing very well, man. Like it's you know, I'm happy. I can't complain.
I heard you talking this. I heard you on the Breakfast Club, and I think it's worth repeating. I heard you kind of separating the difference between, because there's a lot of problems with the pens and kids dying and people getting sick. Is that what you call Alex in for reinforcement?
Yeah, because he started talking about the cannabinoids and how they mix it.
Alex, you want to come in for reinforcements? Yes. I think this is worth it.
What's up, Angie?
Hi, Alex is his partner, Saucy. I know Alex very well. So people have been dying from pens, from smoking vape pens.
Yeah, I think it's very important for people to know what people are dying from, and it's the illegal stuff that they're buying from corner guys and just markets that aren't ready to sell in dispensaries yet. So it's really important for you guys to go to the dispensaries and buy from legal stores. If you're buying from legal stores, there's test results. The testing there is ridiculously strong, more than they test our lettuce, the kids' food, and the wine that we drink. So it's really thoroughly tested. So if you go to stores and you stick to really reputable places, you'll be fine.
Okay, so where are people buying these? In the gas stations and stuff? The ones that people are dying from?
So people are buying them from just basically unlicensed sellers, drug dealers, and just street guys that are selling them from
Gas stations?
I don't know if you can sell
Vape
the
shops?
actual, yeah, but all different types. I think a lot of these vapes are also, a lot of the stuff like even the Juul pens and all these nicotine pens, they're not getting tested at all. So these gas stations are selling it to anybody, and there's zero testing at all. So you don't know what you're smoking. Basically, you don't know where the metal's coming from. You don't know what's going on. So again, if you are inhaling something, just like your food or anything else, you want to know what you're taking in. So there's test results. Go buy from reputable people.
So
reputable
scary,
stores.
though.
Yeah, it is very scary, and that's why you shouldn't be buying from
Yeah.
other places but reputable stores.
So what are you going to do when you're on your weed tour? You're going to just drag Alex around with you everywhere you go?
Alex been dragging me around, actually. He's getting more of a kick out of this than me. He brought the saucy truck. He changed all the Benz emblems, the big
You out
S's.
here on
Like,
your press tour, Alex?
yeah, nah, it's been a hell of a ride, man. Alex is a dope partner, man. Just to learn the whole. For me, smoking weed, we just smoke weed to get high. And we need the gas. But now to actually learn the benefits of it, both medically and how profitable it could be, and how it gets grown from the planting in the soil to actually when it gets trimmed. I knew nothing about that.
Yeah.
And now we are selling nothing but saucy.
And you ain't getting.
I will be in Rolling Loud also on Sunday.
Rolling Loud?
They had me headlining on the saucy stage on Sunday.
When are you, Sunday?
Yes.
Oh, there's a saucy stage?
I mean, that's the name of the stage. It kind of makes sense.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So everything happens for a reason. So we will be at Rolling Loud. Shouts to my brother Killer Cam. He got a project coming out.
Is
Purple
Cam
Haze
coming
in
out?
December. You know it's a Dipset.
Okay,
affair every
good. I
time I
like
step out. It's never been me by myself. It's always been we, us, never them.
Well, you've had times where it wasn't we. Where the we was a little
Damn,
rocky.
man, you cold.
If we're being
You
honest.
just cold.
If
You
we're
just,
being
you
honest,
just
Jimmy.
cold. Just chilly today. Did AC on in here?
No, I just like to be factual. I just like to be factual.
It's good. We all go through things, man. Shout out to my brother Cam, man. You know, it's good to be able to laugh at it and joke at it.
Of course.
I mean,
we're on the other side of that now.
We definitely on the other side of that. I miss that love, man. He's a crazy individual still. He calls me 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to tell me some of the most outrageous things and then hang up. He's
I need him on Untold Stories ASAP. I need.
Oh no!
No,
Listen,
it's too much.
Listen,
It'd be too much. The people are not. The
listen,
television
if
network's
you can,
not ready for that.
If you can get Cam on Untold Stories, like I know he just did the podcast with Elliot and him. I can't wait to watch.
Oh, he did Rap Radar?
I know Cam is retarded, so I only want to know what stories that he told. Like,
I can't wait.
Oh,
That's it.
man.
I need you and him on the next season for sure.
Yeah, we could get in trouble.
Yo, speaking of shows, I
Right.
was very surprised. I know that you are going to be somewhat on it, but I know that Chrissy is back on Love and Hip Hop.
Yes. Shouts to Chrissy. What's up, baby?
We have had conversations where you were like,
no. I'm off
you
of it.
and Chrissy came up with the name Love and Hip Hop,
Yes, we
correct?
did. Yes, we did.
You were the brain baby for this
Yes,
whole
yes, it was. Yes, we was.
but this whole what is it the conglomerate.
Yes, this was our idea.
Franchise.
This was our show. This was everything. I mean, sometimes you mess up on business and you screw up your own opportunities and things like that. And I came to grips with it. And
You
things
were
like that.
so irritated by the whole thing.
I was irritated more the fact that I know I missed out on a big opportunity.
You were more mad at
And
yourself.
I should have been more in tune with the business that I had in front of me because it was my idea. It was something I created, and seeing somebody else came and not take credit for it, but do what they needed to do to
take it and run.
And that should have been me. So I think I was more mad at myself than anything. Fast forward, Chrissy's way more smarter than I am in a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? She's dope when it comes to business, and time heals everything, and sometimes things make sense. And
Have you shot anything?
I shot like one little scene, but she shot a bunch. And it's just dope. She got to sit down and actually negotiate her deal and talk to her. I'm like, if you're gonna do it, you better pick a number you want and stick to it. And if you get that number, go for it. So she did it all on her own. I had nothing to do with it. She stuck to her. She's cold at
So it's
business.
really like her deal, and then you're just kind of jumping in here and there in some support.
They would love for me to be. But
Yes.
I don't have I don't got the brain space and the patience for that full workload right now. Now, moving further and getting back more into TV, I got a bunch of things that I would like to get involved with.
Did you guys have to have like a clear the air with Mona?
I didn't have to have anything. I mean, I know her and Chrissy had a nice conversation. Of course, it had to happen. They haven't talked in so long and things like that. So, they had a great conversation for what I had. Everybody's laughing and kikiing. They came to a nice medium. I guess you could put things on the table that have been lingering in the air for so long and clear it up. It got to feel good.
You don't have to have that conversation too.
Nah, for what?
Because your wife is part of the franchise, and you're also contributing to the franchise now.
Cool. She's good with it, then I'm
you're
good with it.
I
mean, I'm a person that I'm a firm believer. If me and you got a problem, and I'm over it, and we're gonna move on from it, I don't want to talk about it no more.
Yeah.
You dig?
Yeah.
It just make me start like
feeling away again.
Like shoot the fair one. That's the fuck. You gotta shoot it. Like yo, fuck it. But you know what I mean. So that's what I've been. And I don't know if that's the right way to handle. You could never shoot a fair one
with Mona Scott. That would not
that
work.
That would be right. If I be up there, shoot it. Fuck that, Mona. Shoot it.
Mona probably got hands though. She probably got hands.
She's been around a lot of gangsters in her life. Yeah. Been in this rap game for so long. She got to know how a quick 52, man. Shouts to Mona Scott. Shouts to everybody at Love and Hip Hop. They're a big production team over there.
I look forward to seeing you both back on the show. I think that'll be dope. I look forward to seeing her back on the show too. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, but to see her back working and doing something that can help further what she's doing and she's comfortable with it, and to see her smile is the best part for me. Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
You guys are cute.
Sometimes.
Does she get mad when things are going on in your world? Things that you can't talk about, right? But does it affect her? Like when she sees your name and stuff or clip or whatever, does she get like fired up?
Yeah, she definitely gets affected by it, but for the most part, she's very good at keeping her cool and holding me down and supporting me through whatever. And a lot of the things that go on, she kind of already hips me the game, and then when it happens, she be like, "Told you, you need to start listening to Mama a little bit more." So, you know what I mean? But
it's so cute.
It's cool. It's cool. We all good. It's good. I'm in a good space. I'm not mad. I'm doing good business.
Okay.
Saucy in stores. El Capo is in stores. The Rick Ross video is about to drop.
That's that's like my favorite song on the album.
I'm gonna show it to you before we leave. We have it here.
Dope.
We show it to you. We headlining Rolling Loud. Shouts to PRPS. I'm doing a very dope deal with PRPS. I just designed their holiday capsule. It won't make it to the stores. It'll be sold only online on the online stores for holiday. But by the time the spring drops, I will be fully in there designing clothes and bringing culture back to PRPS. I spoke to people like Dave East. I spoke to people like Gunna. I spoke to all of the fly dudes. I'm trying to do a nice little comeback over there and put PRPS directly back in the culture. You know, it's one of my favorite denims that I got to wear, and anybody knows what I've done. I've been rocking jeans for a minute, so this is a great opportunity for me. I just been working, trying to stay quiet.
Music, saucy, capo,
fitness.
Of course,
fitness.
Yo, you're kind of a beast. I watch your things when I'm home eating breakfast. Sitting there, you feel guilty. You make me feel guilty when I watch you in the gym.
That's what I want to do. I want to make everybody feel guilty, so you could get up and want to do something, want to feel inspired. Even if I can help you get up and go to the gym, man, I'm doing more than my job. You know what I mean? So, and I appreciate the opportunity always, Angie.
Well, it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you in good spirits.
Yeah, I'm definitely in good spirits.
Still hustling as usual.
I got to hustle, man. Like I told people yesterday, man, they threw rocks at Jesus when he was already on the cross, man. I ain't got too much to complain about.
True that.
You know what I mean?
Word.
But before we go,
okay.
So would you like to help me get this book deal? Like, would you want to be like my representative?
Yes.
Can we bust some money down?
I have so many ideas for you. I have so many ideas already. That's so crazy that you said that to me, because while we were saying it, I was like, oh, I want to put you with. I already know somebody who could help you organize the stories because I went through this process. So and I know some of the challenges of the process and also ways to kind of push it forward.
So you want to hear the next thing I was saying. So if you commit to that, so I would tell you, my album that I'm putting out, like this is the project I'm doing is cool, but my next album is called The Audio Biography of Jim Jones.
Okay. Love that.
So if we have the autobiography of Jim Jones, we could kind of
put it together
and go wild.
Fire. Are you going to read your own audio book?
Am I going to read it?
You
I
have
guess I would
to.
have to read it at
Yes.
some point. I'll have somebody read it to me or get
Nah, you have to read it. People want to hear it in your voice.
Oh, you mean read it out and sell it
Yeah,
like that?
you know when people hear the
Yeah,
audio
yeah,
book, they have to
definitely,
hear your
yeah,
voice.
100%.
That shit takes dumb long. I'm just telling you now. Days, like days and days and days.
It's not fast. It's not like
Nah,
somebody read
it's
the
not.
book and get out of here.
Look, think about how
You gotta
long it takes to
punctuate
read
and all
a
that. Like,
Listen, think about how long it takes to actually read a book. Imagine reading the shit out loud and you want to say it right, so some parts you have to do over a few times.
they like take and cut and all that. Like cut, do that over.
Yes. Yeah, shit is. I did mine. My book is in my voice if you go listen to my audiobook. But you have to do it.
I'm with it.
I like all this. Did you just announce that? Had you never said that before? That the next is called the
I've done it like on like some internet show, but nothing
All
to that effect. But since you just said that we were going to do a book and you're going to
Yes.
help me get the book deal, I might as
100%.
well put it out there that we could bring everything together and kind of do something that no one has done yet.
All right, well, let's wrap the interview so we can get that going right now because I got to play.
Dope. You heard?
We're going to get to that right now.
Book deals.
Book deals, movies, weed, whatever you want.
And Cheech, you know Chong from Cheech just DM'd me
And
was
say
like,
what?
he wants to holler at us next time we come to LA and get some content and smoke some saucy. That is super bucket list for
Yeah,
any
that's-
weed head you
that's
ever.
amazing.
That's the bucket of all bucket lists. I'm happy.
Hey, congratulations. Congratulations. Jim Jones, everybody. Spot 105.1.